Alright, hello everyone, and welcome back to the last of the 2019 patch notes of League of Legends. So gamers, I have been playing League on and off, not really that much since there's no event going on, but that should all change tomorrow when Aphelios, which will be in here, which I'll talk about, comes out, as well as the new event comes out, which I can earn tokens for. So, we'll be playing League again. So, my takes on the changes that are occurring in the last patch of the year might be a little correct or incorrect, because I haven't really played that much. But we'll see. So, my palette for today includes hot sausages, which I currently don't have yet, but will be getting from my oh-so-gracious grandmother soon. So, until that happens, let's go over the patch notes. Hello, friends. It's the last patch of the year. Of course. Damn, so that means we're not going to get one for a good hot minute, it seems. Because they're teasing the next skin line, which is... What is this stupid shit called? I'll show it really quickly, too. Hold up. They're teasing, Mecha Kingdoms. And as you can see on the image on the screen now, that is Mecha Kingdoms. With Jax as a Herald. But, that's coming, I think, the 15th. So that's over a month away. So the next patch is going to be over a month away. Regardless. Let's see. As with most patches following a huge shakedown like the preseason, spoiler alert, this preseason wasn't a huge shakedown. And I'll kind of go over that too, I guess. We have a lot of changes and tweaks in this patch after assessing some of the initial data and your general feedback. Remove the alcoves. We've also already adjusted the knobs on some of the new Drakes, monsters, and pacings in 9.23. Oh, really? I didn't even know that. And while this is technically the last patch of the year, you may see an end of the year 9.24b, which should fix anything that's crazy in this patch, I'm assuming. Which I don't think we'll need or is that important, but let's see. I don't think they're doing anything too crazy in here. Make sure to hold on to your poison because everyone's new favorite edgy boy and his hot sister, Aphelios, joins the Rift in 9.24. Following her Lunari Brethren's release, Diana's also getting an over... Oh, yeah, that's pretty big. Diana's getting reworked, technically. Poro King is back. I'm ready for Poro King. It actually has a couple of new additions. So anyway... Also, TFT's been updated, but we don't care about that here. We care about actual League of Legends. So, let's go over the skins. Nightbringer Aphelios, I didn't look at it too much, but generally, Aphelios and his skin should look pretty fucking good. They're very... I get like a big Dark Star cosmic theme from him. Like, the gravity cannon that he has a Dark Star theme to it, in my eyes. But anyway, Nightbringer Lee Sin, really good skin. I don't know why he got the Prestige Edition, but he's one of the few men who does, so that's fine. Nightbringer Vladimir's good. Dawnbringer Italy's okay. Dawnbringer Karma's pretty okay. Dawnbringer Soraka I actually thought was ass at first, especially since it doesn't have like a little... a big gimmick with it like, the other legendaries do. But... the effects in the in-game are actually really, really good looking. So I actually really like it. It grew on me. Hextech Swain, pretty nice skin. And all the Sugar Rush skins I like. Especially, none in particular. I just like them all. By the way, those should be launching on December 12th. And then the Sugar Rush on the 17th. Nice. Okay. So... I was going over this with my friend Noah Black in college today. We were talking about Aphelios. Basically, Aphelios was touted by Riot themselves as like this ADC... Okay, this fucking song is blowing my cock. Hopefully this one is nice. It's nice and calm, it sounds like. I don't even think you guys can hear it, but... basically... Fuck, let me get his fucking kid. God damn it. Of course, they don't have the fucking kit anymore. But I'm assuming everyone has seen it. Basically, I'm not going to go too in-depth in it. He has, what, 5 guns. They all do different things, and he can hold 2 of them at the same time, technically. And they all have effects based on what guns you have together. And it's honestly not that complicated. Right? I was like, wow, you're going to have such a big brain to use him. No. You just have to know what the guns do, know how they interact, which is his whole kit, because he just has a Q, a W, and an R, and the W is a weapon switch, so it's not even a real ability. He just has a Q and an R. However, despite his very simple design, well, not design, his very simple in-game design, I do feel he brings a lot to the table. He's kind of he's like, in my eyes, a utility AD, similar to Sivir and Ashe, and also similar to Sivir and Ashe. He does a shit ton of damage. I think out of all the utility ADs, he might be one of the best, if not the best, late game carries of them, and maybe of all of them. His damage is actually nutty. Some of the combos you could get are actually nutty on him. But I'm very excited for him. As I've said in previous videos, I think he will be either permabanned or permapicked first day, first, by whoever's in the lobby. I'll be surprised if I can play him at all tomorrow. I get home early tomorrow, so I'm going to want to play him. But we'll see if I can. But his kit looks very interesting. I doubt it will not get nerfed. I see a lot of nerfs coming his way, because he looks a little ridiculous, but we'll see what the regular people do. But I'm excited. Okay. Oh my fucking Christ. Well, it's patch up time, so unfortunately I cannot answer that. Oh god. My fucking... One of my coworkers sent me an email to change shifts, and his email is something I didn't realize. Okay, anyway, back to what we're doing. Akali. So basically, they're doing a slight, what I guess would be called bug fix, which is you can't hit behind yourself with the Q, which I'm surprised you could. But theoretically, if you're grabbing the kunai from your ass, like if they're behind her in like a little back sack, and you're pulling them out, they should be able to cut something behind you. But realistically, they removed that, as they should have. And now it deals less minion damage, so she doesn't have as much pushing power, which is fine with me. As long as they didn't touch her champion damage, that's fine. They want to preserve her damage in lane, which I think is okay. If you're good at Akali, you're going to do good. It's not Freelo like it was before, especially with all the Shroud nerfs. But I think she's in a really decent spot. As an AD, I'm still scared to go against her, but I'm not terrified. And they're not nerfing her champion damage, so that's good. Good change. Good change. Alright, Amumu. Amumu has been, in my opinion, getting the shaft. He's very bad and more of a late game jungler, ironically. You need a tank, you need a good late game initiate setup. Amumu's your game. But he basically sucks because the early game sucks fucking asshole. And if you miss your Q, you suck dick. So I'm assuming we're going to get buffs. And now let me see what Riot is doing. Sad Mummy is due for a buff. Oh, would you look at that? Cooldown on his Q went down 2 seconds early. This changes nothing. Okay, Braum. What do I think of Braum? I think I haven't seen Braum in God knows how long. I think he kind of sucks. I don't know why. However, I would assume it's because the things in his kit, aside from the shield is always good. He's played actually a lot in pro play, I think. But I don't know, because I haven't really watched pro play this year. And I don't think I really will fuck with it now that Sneaky's leaving. But that's off topic. I think he's not that good, because aside from the shield, to get the stun off, you have to wait and you have to do something, whereas other champions just get it off immediately and don't have to work as hard for it. Braum, I think, honestly, is one of the better supports if a person is good at him. I would want him and Thresh rather than a lot of other people I get currently, but that never happens. And I guess it's still not the meta of tanks, so they're going to buff tanks more. So let's see. What are they saying? I'm assuming buffs, because I don't see him at all. Base health per level and health regen increased. Okay, so he's tankier. Or healthier. W cooldown decreased, which I believe is the jump. Cost flattened, resistance ratios to ally and self flattened. That might be a buff depending on what the values were. Our base damage increased later, knock up now lasts longer. That's really fucking good. Alright, what do they say? I'm curious. Braum is a warden, a tanky champion that excels at protecting their allies. That is very true, unless he shields backwards. Most wardens are great at dealing with melee enemies that try to dive their backlane. This is true. But bad at dealing with ranged opponents. Except for Braum. Braum kind of just, ults and Qs them. However, Braum is an exception to this generalization due to his E, which makes him uniquely good at dealing with ranged threats as well. Okay, that's his shield, I believe. We don't want to remove the very thing that makes Braum unique, his shield, so we're leaning harder into his leading... Wait. Allowing his ability to deal with melee champions relative to other... Wait, what? Wait. So, they don't want him to deal with melees as well as he is, but they want him to deal with ranged better. So what are they nerfing that would deal with melees? Let me see this. So the W is just getting buffed. Nerfed late game. Maybe this is how. But not really. It's like... Oh, this is hella buffed. What the fuck? Wait, so the W is basically just super buffed. And then the R went up by 100, which is okay. 1 to 1.5. Wow. Wow, that's actually crazy. Wait, Braum got Omega buffed. How is he dealing with melees any worse? Riot, again, doesn't make sense with what they're saying. Braum is fucking buffed, and I know Noah Black is happy. But this is good. I'm excited. I really hope to see more Braum. I don't mind going against him, because you can kind of outplay him. If you dodge his ulti, which is not hard to dodge, because there's a wind-up, and you dodge his Q, at that point, he really has to work for it and get the autos. And if he gets all the autos off, then it's like... He worked for it. Just give it to him. But this is extremely good. I extremely like this. Oh, fucking Christ. Here we go. Diana. Okay. What do I think of Diana? I think Diana blows cock. However, I think Diana, if fed, stomps one of the hardest asses in this game. Like, you will take a big jiggly ass, give it to a fed Diana, and she'll just pop that shit. I don't know what it is, but, like, Diana just has such massive fucking burst, and it's crazy. However, because she rarely gets fed, and because she isn't that good in general, I think her late game is kind of ass, because she has such low range, and she has to go in. And her early game is okay, her mid game is okay. She's generally not that played, because it's kind of hard to get ahead, and like, if you're not ahead, you're kind of basically, like, sucking ass, in my opinion. And I haven't seen her, so what are they doing? So, they updated her looks. Lunar Rush and Moonfall are now switched. So, her W, I believe, which is like the fucking thing that pulls you in, is her ulti. And her ulti is her W or her E. I forgot which one, but it's one of those. I'm curious to see what they did, though. They had to change values around or something. Because there's no way her ult is just a literal pull-in that does nothing. So we'll see what it is. Some of you already know we've been working on Diana for... Okay. We've made some changes that helping Diana pre... If you died with Diana pre-level 6, you're trolling. Oh, and I have green tea. I forgot to mention that. Let's see. And we're making both the playing as and against Diana experience less of a feast or famine. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. It was exactly like either you really don't do anything, and you're just like a bug waiting to be squashed. Ooh, wait a minute. My food. Ooh, thank you. Oh, so she's really a feast or famine type. Like, if she does nothing, she does nothing. If she doesn't get fed. If she gets fed, though, she annihilates. And I'm glad they're taking that away, because I hate champions like that. Unless they're ADs, then I'm fine. Because most ADs, except Caitlyn. Actually, no, Caitlyn's actually pretty okay late, too. Most ADs transition well to the late game. So, never mind. Ignore what I said. As we listen to, like, 4 Spotify ads in a row. And they're buffing her passive. I also forgot to mention that. Okay. By giving her access to movement as a basic ability, we're unlocking one of Diana's core mechanics earlier in the laning. That's good. Allowing her to fight against and interact with enemies before she hits 6. That's really good. She is also better as a jungler. Okay. There's new ultimate now significantly opens her up to more options as the game progresses. How? She has teamfight skirmish capabilities and were previously inaccessible to her. It better be a huge-ass radius if they're saying this. Her goal isn't always to nuke a single person. That's basically what Diana was. Hey, you die. I'm not going to do anything to anyone else, but you die. Similar to Zed. She's like the AP Zed in my eyes. For all the gold, these changes to preserve what people loved about Diana, which was basically going in and killing. But they're allowing you to do that earlier. So, let me see. They updated everything. Cool. Base stats. She has more mana. She has more mana growth and more AD. Wow, that's a lot more AD. Okay, passive. She just gains attack speed in general. Great. Casting an ability triples the attack speed. My god, that's crazy. So late game, this is better than the old one. And then every third strike cleaves enemies for 20 to 250. Which before was... Okay, so it scales worse. And it doesn't restore mana. I didn't even know it restored mana. Holy shit. So, technically it's worse, but they're making up for that with the base stats because you're gaining more mana in lane. So that's fine. Q, same exact thing, just buffed. Mana cost. That's fine. W now has a longer cooldown because you're going to be going in more often. So that makes sense. The base shield is lower, again, because you're going to be going in more often. You can't just spam this thing. Orb damage is actually less. I'm surprised they hit everything in here, but okay. And the scaling is lower too. Jesus. So they really don't want the W to do damage. And there's now a shield ratio, which is bonus health, which is useless. Okay, so E. It was the E. This is Diana's old ultimate. So instead of the long-ass the short-ass cooldown it has, it now has kind of a shorter cooldown, which is fine. The cost is lowered because it's not an ultimate. That's fine. The damage is lowered, obviously. That's fine. The scaling is lowered. Okay, this is fine because it's an ability now. Although these cooldowns look a little crazy. Unless it's still... If it still resets, then actually this makes sense. If it still resets, that's actually crazy. And now Moonfall. So the cooldown is 100 seconds. Jesus Christ. The cost is up. The slow is way up. Okay, now, if Diana pulls in one or more enemy champions, the Moonlight crashes down onto her, dealing... Oh my god, it actually does a lot of damage now. Holy shit. Increased by for each target beyond the... Wow, so the more you hit, the better you are. She's actually a team fighter now. Wait, this is actually crazy. So, I'm not really a Diana player. I can't speak for if these changes are good or bad. However, I have heard from the Diana mains that these are extremely good. And I'm both excited and terrified to see how this goes, because Aphelios has no move speed, or not no move speed, no movement abilities, and if this Diana jumps on him, he's probably raped. If anyone jumps on him, he's probably raped. If he doesn't kill them, of course. But I'm excited. I think this is good, and I've heard it's good. Okay, Garen. What do I think of Garen? I've been hearing Garen's OP. I've heard people complain about him, and honestly, looking at the few games I have played and seen him in, he kind of is. He doesn't lose, and if he does, he's still useful somehow, building damage, which is crazy. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to see a nerf to what? Maybe the W. I don't know if the W is what's making him OP. In my opinion, it kind of is. Because, like, even if you do bad, you're so tanky from just not building tank. You could get damage, be tanky enough as if you were building tank and have the added bonus of the damage you built, and then still be in it. So I'm assuming they're going to hit the W. What are they doing? Garen is one of the biggest winners from Conqueror changes. That is very true. Builds relying on attack speed are dominating his itemization. Yes, they are. Which I kind of don't like. We don't want Glass Cannon Garen, even though he's not a Glass Cannon, to be the only Garen people build. Okay. So they're nerfing the E, making it take more attack speed to scale better, and lowering the damage. Okay. Will this do anything? Hopefully. I don't think the E is that much of an issue, though. But who knows? It might be. I don't really know. Octo. Gainita. Okay. So, Garen changes. I still expect to see a nerf after this. I still think he's going to be a little ridiculous. Because like they said, they don't want to, just take away attack speed Garen, which is what they usually do when they find something that they don't like. They're saying they're going to, nerf it, and instead they just end up basically removing it from being viable, and no one ever plays again. So let's see if this is what it does. I doubt it, but we'll see. I don't really know with the weirdness of his E and the scaling how much this really affects him. Karma. I think Karma is fucking useless. There's better poke champions, there's better shield champions, and she's Wiener. I hate Karma. I've always hated Karma. My opinion has been, if you have someone like Karma, focus her fully on shielding or poking. Don't have her be this in-the-middle thing where it's like she doesn't do either well enough compared to other supports. Janna. Although I guess she is the easier version of Janna, and that would mean she's kind of shittier. But, yeah, my idea for her would be just ramp up her fucking shielding. So anyway, we're buffing Karma in a way that those who want to build most supportive items will appreciate. Does that mean her support isn't that good already? So the E base shield is going up by 10 early, 30 late. This does nothing. But they're doing what I said, which if they went a little more crazy with it, I think it would be better. Kassadin. What do I think of Kassadin? I think Kassadin is like the not as crazy Rise. He's basically he's the predecessor to Rise, right? You would play Kassadin and you'd be like, alright, if you get to late game with Kassadin, you're just gonna fucking you're just gonna go like that to people's private parts. However, now Rise does that, and does it, I feel like, a lot quicker and a lot better than Kassadin. Kassadin more now is just like a pick where you want to go anti-AP and you have to be good at him. Not to say you have to be good at Rise, but Rise is good into almost anything and is not necessarily anti-AP. He's anti the enemy team. He'll just kill them all. And he has a lot more wave clear than Kassadin. So I haven't really seen a lot of Kassadin either. Again, ever since the Rift Limp after they broke his fucking legs, he's never going to be what he used to be. However, I still believe he can be great again, so I'm assuming we're going to see buffs because I never see him. Kassadin is far too strong at the moment. Wow. Both surviving the lane and plowing through teamfights. I mean, he survives the lane, but he doesn't necessarily thrive in it, again, unless you're a Kassadin god. So, and teamfights obviously he's going to do good, but that's the nature of Kassadin. It takes a bit for him to get online, though, I feel. So the cooldown of the Q is going up. I mean, that's fine, honestly. I feel like the... Actually, no, it's not fine. Because the Q cooldown early is so fucking... damage, excuse me. The Q damage early is so fucking wiener schnitzel. It's like you're fucking poking them with the stick and you use it to farm instead of poke sometimes. So I don't really agree with the Q. The W... returning less mana, I mean, I guess that's fine. Eventually, you just have no mana problems on Kassadin anyway. So, realistically, what does this change? Nothing. Because you're not maxing this, so you're not really getting the benefit of it late game. Or early game, excuse me. And you're losing out benefit late game, but again, late game you already have a lot of mana. And you're going to use this maybe once or twice in team fights. Maybe 3 times. And the amount of mana you get back is enough if you use it on a champion. Even with the 6%, because it's quintupled. So, the Q change is kind of stupid. The W change doesn't really matter. But I don't understand why they're nerfing him. Again, I haven't seen him, so maybe it's a hidden evil I haven't seen, but I don't agree with that change. Rami. I haven't seen Rami at all. Again, Rami is very situational. If they have full AD, pick Rami. I'm assuming because he's not played like that, because if they have full AD, pick Malphite. They're going to buff Rami, probably. Let's see. Raising Rammus's influence in mid-game teamfights and his late-game durability. Wow, I didn't think he needed more late-game durability, but okay, I think he's one of the tankiest mofos around. Again, next to Malphite. So his health growth is up, which is pretty good. and his E is lowered by 2 seconds late. I mean, maybe you'll get... This doesn't really change anything, because in a team fight, the 2 seconds might matter, but it really probably won't. You'll still get 2 off. Maybe it might matter in a clutch situation, but again, it's like, not really. So, yeah, again, this is okay. It's a good quality of life, but it does nothing. Okay, moving on to Res. I'm almost positive we're getting nerfs for this fuckhead, because like I said with Kassadin, or during talking about Kassadin, he is crazy. You farm, you have kill pressure in lane by farming, because your ulti is not offensive, technically. So your full power is in your kit by level 3. Like, you have your full killing kit at that point. And it's like, you have wave clear, you have kill. And then at 6, the most you get is, like, mobility. No damage. But it's like, at a certain point, if you get to, like, a certain time in the game with Ryze and you have a certain amount of farm or gold, you're just going to steamroll the enemy team. And I think the difference with Ryze and Kassadin is Kassadin, maybe it's a little bit easier and you have to wait. Like, not necessarily for gold, you obviously have to wait for that. But you have to wait for the E to come back up, which is dependent on abilities being used around you. Ryze doesn't have to wait for anything. He just needs gold, and then he's going to shuck them. So, what are they nerfing? I was going to say, what are they damaging? Well, what are they damaging? His bald-ass head. Q base damage decreased. 80 to 6. Okay, that's actually big early game. Early game wave clear too high. That's what I'm saying. I'm all fine for him being a scaling mage. Because, again, once he gets into a certain point in the game, he wrecks, which I feel not a lot of mages do, besides Veigar. So I don't mind if he takes longer to scale, but still has the same power he does late game. Which, ironically, he kind of doesn't because the base damage went down, but it's the scalings, I guess, that are crazy, and the cooldown. So this is fine. And I heard Conqueror's getting nerfed, so we'll see what happens with that. Okay, Senna. Alright, I already know what they're changing, so I don't even need to really go over it. Senna needs to be nerfed, yes. What they're doing here is like a slap on the wrist, and honestly, I think it's enough, because again, Senna is very susceptible to just hard engage. If you hard engage her, she dies. She's basically a really good, annoying poke support. This is what I'm saying. Senna's healing is decent. It's decent. If she's ahead, it's good. But if she's like going even or falling behind, it's decent to bad. But you don't play her for the healing. The healing is decent. You play her for the poke. She's like the better version of Karma. You know how Karma shields and like, you know, does move speed and roots and shit? Karma's like a little bit of everything. Shield, poke, a little bit of mobility. Same thing with Senna, but she does it well. She is crazy at poke. And the problem is, she's actually so good at scaling that people were playing her AD. And I guess Riot didn't like that because, again, she's advertised as the marksman support, which I personally think she's better as a marksman. Better as a support than an AD. But Riot seems to think that too, and they're nerfing it. Again, slapping it on the wrist, and I actually agree with them. So health growth is down. That's fine. Make her squishier. Make her more susceptible to just dying in all-ins. That's fine because she's a poke champion. That's how it's supposed to be. Passive. If you're playing AD and you last hit a minion, a soul is very unlikely to spawn. This is fine. Q damage went down. That's okay. They kept the healing the same. That's fine. They didn't lower the damage by that big of an amount either. And again, she's infinitely scaling, so it's fine. Her poke is still good. W root duration. It was a little ridiculous. So they're lowering it early. Again, it's still pretty good. It's over a second at level 1, which is good. And it's AoE, which is even better. But I agree with that change too. That's fine. And then the R damage is lowered, which, I mean, it does do pretty... Oh no, it's actually buffed for AP. What the fuck? I thought that was lowered. Wow. Yeah, so all good changes. I think she deserved them. She's probably going to get nerfed again, realistically looking at it. But I hope she doesn't. But these are acceptable and needed changes, not necessarily the changes I wanted, but I can understand. She's a little crazy. Sivir, just straight AD buff. This is fine. This doesn't change anything. It'll make her a little bit better early game. Like, again, this is so, like, specific in certain situations. It's like, okay. Alright, Yumi. Oh my god, I forgot about this fucking pussy. Wow, I thought this patch was gonna be a fucking quick one. How long am I? I'm 30 minutes in exactly. Wow. So Yumi. Okay, what do I think of Yumi? I think she kind of got gutted a little too much. She was very niche in that she occupied a position no other support did, which was being one of the safest, if not the safest. And then what she brought to the table was extremely good after all the buffs. And experienced and professional players could very easily abuse that. But the problem is, as with some champions in this game's history, only the pros could take advantage of that. And it was too crazy, so they nerfed it for everyone, and now we got this watered down version. Now, basically, Yumi's still good, I would say, but you need the AD to know how to play with the Yumi. It's not that Yumi needs to know how to play with the AD. The AD needs to know how to play with the Yumi, and the Yumi needs to be good. Which, to me, honestly, when this champion came out, I was like, oh, people are going to play this if they want to AFK and suck dick. But it's actually the opposite. You need to be good on this champion. So, what are they doing? I'm assuming to see buffs, ironically, because I don't see her at all. Which means everyone thinks she's ass, which means she might be ass. Especially after all the fucking beating sticks they gave her. So, we're encouraging Yumi. I'm not even going to look at those. I want to read what they're saying. We're encouraging Yumi to be the enchanter she was meant to be by buffing her supportive capabilities at the cost of damage. That's fine. I like supports that, buff the AD, not do everything themselves. Summon area is a lot more optimal on her. Okay. Not Arcane Comet. Okay. However, to access all her power, she'll have to sound squishier champions instead of being an untargetable damage source. Wait, what? Wait, what? We're also asking her to sometimes expose herself to real danger by allowing alternative opponents to have actually kill threat. And seriously, we have the data. Yumi's a really weird case where taking the wrong rune is negatively and drastically causing people to think she is worse than she actually is. Please take Aerie. Wow, that's actually crazy. Riot is telling you what's optimal on her. That's how you know this champion's in a bad spot, with the community at least. Maybe not in reality. Better enough for earlier. Okay, so they're returning the mana to the passive proc, and they're buffing the fuck out of the shield. That is crazy. That's good, though. But I'm scared to why they're doing that. What is this entailing? And as we get an ad from Spotify. Okay, so the Q. Mana went far up, but again, passive kind of supplements that. Damage ratio went down. You're not building crazy amounts of AP, or at least you shouldn't. You shouldn't be. Empowered damage has gone. Base damage went up, scaling went down. Again, that's fine. You're not supposed to be building AP. Missile duration, that is actually huge. The fact that they lowered that means the missile isn't going to go as far, and you're not going to have as much time to hit it. That is actually crazy. Seeing everything else they nerfed about it, the fact that they nerfed it by 1/3 its duration is a little crazy to me. Okay, W. Now has a channel time of 0.25. Oh, but that's from unattached state. That's fine. That's fine. So now you actually do have a chance if she's not zipping around between people. If she's like going out of the champion and back in, she kind of had no penalty for doing that. Like zipping around champion to champion, that's fine. That could have no cooldown. But just going out, poking, then immediately being safe and going back in was a little ridiculous. And now that she lost that, I feel like she might actually die a couple of times because of this. Yumi no longer teleports with her anchor when attached. Oh, does that only apply to teleport, or does that apply to basing as well? We'll have to see. That could be a potential nerf, because I know they kind of only want Xayah and Rakan to occupy that niche, where if one's backing, you could join in at the literal end and still go to base. Immobilizing Yumi places this ability on a 5-second cooldown. That is insane, actually. So if you... Wait, this is actually huge. Yumi's going to die so much if caught out now, which is ironically going to make Yumi's just stay on the fucking AD more. Okay, you have to fucking wait. Interesting. So yeah, Yumi's gonna die a lot from this. If you get hooked, you have to wait 5 whole seconds after the hook ends to go anywhere, and then you have to channel it. That is crazy. I feel like she's actually even more shit now because of that. That's actually, I think, too much. But it makes sense for what they want to do, but it's like it just kills the character with how squishy she is. Yumi increases her allies' adaptive force by... So it's actually better. And... Is it better overall? I think it is. Wow, it's actually better overall. And it's of their force, so Jin is going to be crazy with Yumi, actually. This is great. The W getting updated here is like the only good thing about it. Everything else sucks. Zoomies. It now grants attack speed, which is crazy. But it's only to the anchor target or herself, so it's not both. You can't stack the heal anymore, okay. The healing is no longer increased, so I better see a drastic increase in the healing. Okay, yeah, the healing got Omega buffed. Jesus Christ. That's good. Compared to what it was before. It's not great healing, but comparatively it was good. Or it's good now. Cooldown has went drastically down. That's good and understandable. Cost has went drastically up. That's crazy. So you really are prioritized to go and hit them for mana. And the E, you can't just spam it now to like slowly heal your champion. You actually have to wait and use it in a fight so they could get the attack speed. This is actually crazy. You have to think a lot more on fucking Yumi now. And the movement speed is less, but it no longer decays, and it lasts longer. I'm excited. I think the W change honestly will cripple her. But I guess that's the thing. You have to be good at her now. Even more so than before. You have to position correctly and not get caught out. If you're caught out, you're basically dead on this champion. But if not, technically you should be helping your AD more, not through just straight damage, but through buffing them. Which I like. I like that path more than just, hey, I'm going to do damage to the enemy and that's it. I'm going to buff my AD. I'm going to heal my AD. I'm going to give my AD a lot more damage so they could do it instead of me. I like the direction they're taking her. I just don't know if it'll pan out in game, but I'm excited for this as well. I think no one will play this, though, just because of the W. So I'm very scared for this. Okay. And I think that's all the changes. Wow, I think we're wrapping up. So Lux got all her shit updated as well. She has a new look. Or new looking stuff. Conqueror, okay. This is something I'm extremely sad about. Many ADs... Shut your fucking face! Many ADs don't have that good of a keystone. In the sense... Or I think ADs just don't go well with keystones in general, because what do they use, right? Generally, they'll use Fleet, or Lethal Tempo, or PTA, but PTA is kind of rare, in my opinion. Like, who uses that? Tristana, maybe Twitch, maybe Draven. Like you can use it, but it's like, I say it's more optimal to either go Fleet or Lethal. But Conqueror opened up a new option for ADs. Mind you, it might have been a little too good, but generally, aside from Fervor, which was insane, Conqueror for the longest time wasn't optimal on any ranged champion at all. And to finally have it be used by ADs, it's not the best by any long shot. Trust me. It's definitely good on some people, Ezreal, because they just don't have anything else anymore. It's good on Ashe, but again, it's not optimal. Ashe, it's actually better to go Lethal than Conqueror. Now, what are they doing? They're nerfing the duration by 2 seconds, and the healing is less. I think the duration is honestly what kills it. Because melees can stack this by 2. Now, it's affecting melees as well. But I don't think this matters for melees, because if you're beating the fuck out of someone in range, the only time you're going to ever stop getting stacks of this is when you're done fighting. And when you're done fighting, you're not going to fight again for, like, a good minute. So, the fact that this lasts 6 seconds for melees doesn't really change a lot in my eyes. The fact that it lasts 6 seconds for ranged does, because you get 1 stack at a time. And you poke in and out. So, whereas a melee can go in, stack it really quickly, and then get out, it doesn't matter that it falls off quickly, because they'll stack it quickly, and what they needed to do with it is done. With ranged, you sometimes almost never, or not sometimes, you almost never stack it to full in a fight, because the fights are just poke trades. The only time I feel like you'll stack it a full is in a team fight or a really extended trade in bot lane. And the healing is negligible, honestly. The healing is like fucking wiener. At that point, take fleet. And it's even less now for ranged. You didn't get it for the healing, you got it for the fucking damage. And the fact that I'm seeing it nerfed, especially for ranged, either they should have just nerfed the duration or nerfed the healing, not both. I think that's a little too much. Do I still think it'll be used on Ezreal? Yes, because again, it's the only thing he'll fucking use. But it's slightly worse, but at least they didn't touch the damage numbers, so we're fine there. But it's fine. I know it's a little bit of an issue, even though they took away all the true damage from it, and it just gives straight damage now, but still. I'm sad to see. I don't think it should be nerfed after this. If it's nerfed after this, it's probably going to go near, like, really low tier. Prototype Omnistone. I'm not even going to go over this in depth. Basically, what they're saying is it now can adapt to what you're doing to kind of give you a keystone that's actually useful. Basically. I think. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so it'll react and give you something that could probably help you. But this keystone is fucking weird. Okay, and now this is what was changed and is live currently. Let's see. So Ezreal got buffed as expected. He's kind of weak because his main keystone got nerfed. They actually buffed it for ranged champions. Wow. Sanguine Blade got hella nerfed. Ocean Drake got nerfed because it was too good. Drake Hellgold got nerfed. Okay. An Elder Dragon now is calculated properly and takes into account armor. That's fine. Rift Herald does more damage because I guess it wasn't doing enough, even though there's two of them now. So maybe they shouldn't be doing that much. Damage per level is down. So it does more initial damage but doesn't scale as well. That's fine. It's not meant for scaling, it's meant for early game. Plate gold, you get less. Resistances are up. I actually like that a lot because I feel like if you really stomp the lane hard enough, you still can get the turret like relatively early. I had a turret taken from me at like 10.5 minutes. I was like, wow, that's so fucking fast. And they updated the visuals on the elemental rifts because some people, as I saw on the Reddit, were vomiting on themselves. So that's fine. And the return of the Poro King. So, because of the new Dawnbringer event that's coming out in 2 days, Poro King is back, and they added a little Dawnbringer, Nightbringer, Poro snack to make it thematic, I guess. Cool. ARM changes, I don't really give a shit. The username nonsense, which I have been greatly affected by, because now I am Technical Channel, not Tecnics Channel, has annoyed me greatly, and I put in a support ticket, but I doubt it's going to be changed. Bug fixes, we don't care. Skins and chromos, I went over it. Okay. Overall, this patch addressed a lot of things which perhaps needed changes. Like, I think Braum is just Omega buff. Diana's good. Garen, whatever. Yeah, Senna needed it. Yumi, interesting. I think a lot of the stuff they did here was either needed or interesting and not bad. Maybe one of the things was bad, but not really. And Aphelios is coming out, so all in all, and there's a shit ton of fucking good skins. I can't say any of these skins are bad. So all in all, I would rate this entire patch 8 out of 10 Marc Merrills. This was a good patch. Ending off the year right, man. I like it. Anyway, that's going to be for me. I'm excited to see what next patch brings us, which should be the new champion set and the mecha skins for Lunar Revel. But anyway, that's it. I hope you enjoyed. 8 out of 10. I'm out of here.